This podcast is for entertainment and commentary purposes only. The views expressed by the hosts and guests are their own and do not reflect any organizations or affiliates. This show may contain adult language and mature themes. Listener discretion is advised. Portions of media may be used under fair use for commentary and criticism. Nothing discussed on this podcast should be taken as professional, legal, or financial advice.
It's JM and Digz, two kids that never quit. From the ring to the booth, yeah, they still talk their shit. Hey! Thursdays on your feed, little ones, you don't skip if you can't.
Hello. Welcome to the JM and Digz podcast, episode 8. I am JM.
I am Diggs.
You got it right this week. We're moving. All right, Diggs. We got a nice cram-packed episode. Definitely a lot more prepared this week than we were last week. Kick and Wing, how you doing? Welcome to the chat. But yeah, and also we will have Toshi back tonight, our NBA correspondent. Going to hit us with some NBA news later on.
Doesn't get a last minute assignment.
What's that?
So hopefully he doesn't get a last minute assignment. Decides to bail again.
Oh, okay. So Diggs is still betting on him not showing up. So we'll see. We got some stuff to get through before we get there, but we'll see. But anyway, Diggs, how was your week?
It was long. How about yours?
Same. Honestly, it's tough asking that question on this podcast because like we work together outside of this, and so we already know how each other's weeks are going. But I just figured I'd make small talk before we get into it. But
Oh, there's a lot to get into.
very true. All right. So I forgot what episode it was. What episode was it that we covered the Pawtucket, Rhode Island hockey game shooting? I think it was like four. That was like four or five. It was somewhere around there. And for those that don't remember this tragic story, it was a shooting at a high school league hockey game in Pawtucket. It was episode 5. We just got confirmation from Sanchez. So episode 5, we covered the story. It was an horrific situation where an individual who had recently got separated from his wife and was getting kicked out of his home, or got kicked out of his home by his in-laws, all due to him wanting to transition from a male to a female. I guess with his family alienating him and isolating him, it made him mad, and he showed up at that game with 2 loaded guns, waited for the perfect opportunity, and then he walked up and literally shot his wife, his son, and both of his in-laws. His son and wife died instantly. His in-laws were taken to was it Rhode Island Hospital, or was it, I think it was Brown, actually. I think it was Brown Medical. Either way, he got taken there, and eventually the grandfather died. So the only survivor from the shooting was the grandmother and the other son, who was actively playing in the game on the ice. So we talked about this, and we thought about, we didn't want to bring up names because we didn't want to really drag anyone's identity into this, because it's, it's a horrific story as it is. But what's up from the dungeon? How you doing? But yeah, we, imagine being that poor kid on the ice. He hears a shooting, everyone runs, he's terrified, doesn't know what's going on, and then you find out it was your father that murdered your mother, your brother, and shot at your in-laws, murdered, eventually finding out your grandfather passes away. Terrible story. Well, that young man turned his devastating, tragic story into an unbelievable sports motivational story after last night. That same player decided to continue playing hockey. I mean, he could have easily just quit, Diggs, and
No one would have thought anything of it.
right. That's a lot of stuff he's dealing with outside of the sport, outside of school. So he could have easily just hung up the skates and moved on. But no, he continued to play with his team. His team must have rallied around him, and they started to win. And last night It was I believe it was a Division II state, Rhode Island Division II state playoff game. The winner of the game would go to the state championship. And an incredible story. It was a tie game. It goes to double overtime. And it was that kid in the second overtime period who hits the game-winning, shoots the game-winning goal to send his team to the state championship. And think about that, to literally go through everything he's going through off the ice, to be at one of the most scariest sporting events he's ever been at, just hearing gunshots, having all of his teammates having a run, to then being able to, overcome that adversity and be able to like ignore that part of his life to focus on the ice like that and have such a crazy moment like that. It must have been
his outlet, his escape.
Right. But you got to think, like, when he hit that goal and that game ended, you got to think the amount of emotions that went through that kid after that. Like that's.
Were you seeing the photos of him wearing the firefighter's helmet?
Yeah, I did.
He looks like he was in tears and those.
Yeah, exactly. I'm glad though we only use this image because, like I said, I don't want to release his name and all that. I mean, it is public information at this point. I don't know why, but
want to know, they can look it up.
Yeah, so if you want to know, go look it up yourself. But I'm not gonna put the kid's name out there and the kid's face out there because I'm sure he's dealing with more media than he ever expected to in his life. So, but incredible story, incredible. It shows how sports can be an escape from the absolute worst parts of your life. So shout out to him and shout out to his team and congratulations on going to the state championship, and I hope the best for them. So,
how long do you think it would take before they turn this into a movie?
Oh my God! Do you want to turn that into a movie, or do you like?
I don't want to, but someone's gonna.
Right. Do you change? So here's the thing, though, because this story is so wild. It's like, do you change aspects of it to
Oh yeah, you're gonna change some things.
Like that's the thing, because that movie will be very controversial if they leave it the way it is. So we'll see. We'll see. We'll see. I do believe you're right that this possibly could be a movie in the future,
especially if they win the championship.
Yeah, if they win the state championship, yeah, yep, exactly. That because that's the Cinderella ending right there. That's yes, from the dungeon, yes. Well, former, because he killed himself. So yes. That's the thing of the story that's the craziest. Like, his father was the one that killed his mother, his brother, eventually killed his grandfather, and then shot his grandmother, but she ended up surviving the injuries. And he does have one other brother that's in jail, but that's not related to the story at all. He's in jail for a totally unrelated thing. So
I think he does have a sister. The news was saying one of the photos he was hugging his sister. Oh,
so there's another family member that must have not been there or is not sitting there, or that's interesting. That's interesting. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I do think you're right. I think eventually that could be a movie, though. So we'll see. But I don't give a fuck if they make it a movie or not. I just my heart feels for this kid. I hope they do win the state championship, and I hope he.
And the state championship is this coming Wednesday, correct?
I have no idea. You would have to ask our coworker that. Our coworker at our day job, his son's in the same league, so he would have a better idea of when the state championship is. I don't.
I believe it is this Wednesday.
Are you still 3D printing, Diggs?
I am.
Okay, that's explaining the noise in the background. That was that. I thought a plane was going overhead. I'm like, wait, that plane's really close to my fucking house, if that's the case.
God, it'll be there.
Right. All right, so let's get into the NFL news because this has been an incredible week, and there you go. We're going to use the NFL free agency frenzy logo for this segment because we don't hear no noise on the audio from the dungeon. I'm glad you didn't. I'm glad you didn't hear it.
Listen, I didn't think about it when I started the print.
It's all right. It's all right.
My drone needs a home.
Where's our favorite boy, Tosh? He will be joining us for the NBA segment right after this segment.
Allegedly.
But Diggs still has money that he's not going to show up. All right. So, Diggs, let me get through the fucking segment. Jesus Christ. All right, so we're going to get right into it. A lot has happened in the NFL because obviously Monday launched the legal tampering period, and then Wednesday at 4 p.m. Eastern time, free agency was officially open. That was yesterday at 4 p.m. So we're definitely over 24 hours with signings, and also what makes free agency week so crazy is you get all those last-minute trades to gather some picks because you're obviously trying to draft some people. So we'll start from early in the week, and by the end of it, we'll be caught up. And then I'll double check. I get a double check a couple websites because people are probably getting signed as we speak because it's still going on. So anyway, so we're going to start with the Chargers agree to terms with center Tyler Badaz on a 3-year, $30 million contract. Texans released Joe Mixon after a foot injury wiped out his entire 2025 season. Bears acquire center Garrett Bradbury from the Patriots to replace retired center Drew Delman. Eagles defensive tackle Jordan Davis agrees to a 3-year, $78 million contract extension. Packers trade defensive tackle Colby Wooden to the Colts for linebacker Zaire Franklin, and the Niners kicker Eddie Pinheiro agrees the terms for a 4-year, $17 million contract, and the Chargers are able to lock down Khalil Mack for another year. It's $18 million fully guaranteed. Trent McDuffie was traded from the Chiefs to the Rams this week, and the Rams then agreed to a 4-year, $124 million contract extension. Bills traded veteran cornerback Taran Johnson to the Raiders for a 2026 sixth-round pick. Texans signed right guard Ed Ingram to a 3-year, $37.5 million contract, and the Jets acquire Minkah Fitzpatrick from the Dolphins in trade and then sign the safety to a 3-year, $40 million extension. The Packers trade defensive lineman Rashawn Gary to the Cowboys for a 2027 fourth-round pick. And big news to some people, I don't really care, but Travis Kelce re-signs with the Chiefs. He's going to come back for his 14th season in Kansas City. Wide receiver Alec Pierce, one of the most popular up-and-coming wide receivers from last season, had the opportunity to hit free agency this year, but he decides he's going to stay where he is. He re-signed with the Colts for a 4-year, $114 million deal. And I'm pretty sure that is the highest paid a white receiver's ever been paid in NFL history. I'm just going to put that out there. The Chiefs also end up signing ex-Seahawks running back Kenneth Walker III, the MVP of the Super Bowl, signed him to a 3-year deal. So, and I got to stop real quick. We got a few more headlines, but I got to stop, Diggs. What do you think? Does Kenneth Walker III being signed by the Chiefs put the Chiefs back in the hunt for a Super Bowl again?
Yes.
You do.
What do you think?
Well, a lot of people did say last year what they were missing was a running game, and it put a lot of pressure on the passing game. And, I think the problem with Patrick Mahomes is he's taking too many hits, and he's not making it healthy through the whole season. I give the guy credit. He plays through injury like nobody else. But he's gotten like a high ankle sprain for the last 4 years in a row. I mean, the guy needs to make it to the playoffs. You know, that playoffs that he lost against the Eagles, a lot of the issue in that game was he was hurt. He went into that Super Bowl hurt. Like if he wasn't Patrick Mahomes, the face of the league, well, you think he'd be playing in that game? No, any other quarterback would be out, and maybe that backup would be in. So yeah, I think this is a smart move from the Chiefs. Get the best running back you can, and hope to reinforce your offense with a running game because they really didn't have one. All right, moving on. The Panthers signed pass rusher Jalen Phillips to a 4-year, $120 million deal, and linebacker Devin Lloyd to a 3-year, $45 million deal. The Steelers acquire Michael Pittman Jr., wide receiver from the Colts in trade, and then re-sign him to a 3-year, $59 million extension. Jesus, these wide receivers are getting paid. Quarterback Malik Willis goes to the Dolphins, agrees to a 3-year, $67.5 million deal. Raiders center Tyler Linderbaum agrees to a 3-year, $81 million contract. Titans signing ex-Giants wide receiver Wan'Dale Robinson to a $78 million deal as part of their incredible $270 million spending spree so far this free agency. Yeah, the Titans they're trying to buy their way to the playoffs at this point. Saints signing ex-Jaguars running back Travis Etienne and ex-Bills offensive lineman David Edwards. Mike Evans, this was a big one, Diggs. Mike Evans signs with the 49ers, ending his 12-year tenure as a Buccaneer.
Do you know the details of that?
I don't have the numbers yet. No, I don't have the numbers yet. Actually, I could probably find that real quick. Give me 1 second. That's probably out by now. Let's see. It is a 3-year, $42.4 million contract. But, a Tampa Bay Buccaneers legend. I mean, that's a guy you thought would never leave the team he came from. And it's the end of an era.
Yeah, but we all thought Brady wasn't going anywhere.
True, and you got to wonder because Mike Evans and Brady won a Super Bowl together. Was that part of his decision making? Like, Brady didn't stay with the Patriots his whole career, so why should I stay with the Bucs my whole career?
Yeah.
But the big joke on the internet, I feel bad for Mike Evans, is they're saying because his last few years in the league, he's been hurt a lot. So they're like, wow, one of the best injury-prone wide receivers is going to the most injury-prone team. So they're already getting some shit from the internet right there. All right. Here's a big one, too. Commanders are signing pass rusher Odef away to a 4-year, $100 million contract. That's pretty epic. And then, we talked about what was it? Malik Willis going to the Dolphins. That's because they released Tua Tagovailoa, and Tua Tagovailoa is now signing a 1-year minimum contract with the Falcons. So that'll be interesting to see. Commanders also signed left tackle Laramie Tunsel to a 2-year, $60.2 million extension. Raiders signs. The Raiders went crazy in this week. Raiders signed both of the top linebackers in free agency, Nakobe Dean and Quay Walker, and they both got 3-year deals.
Damn.
Yep, I don't have the details on the money on that. We'll have to look that up, but it's ridiculous money because they were both the 2 top linebackers available going into free agency, and then no one expected one team to sign both of them. So let me see.
Awesome, something nice to get both.
Was it Nakobe Dean contract? 3 years, $36.03 million. And then
Quay Walker.
Should have this ready, but And that's a 3-year, $40.5 million contract. So between the two of them, over $70 million in linebackers they just spent. That's crazy, bro. That is crazy, bro. Did you see Stephon Diggs in the picture with? Oh my God! Yeah, I just saw that in chat. Yeah, we were talking about that. Were we talking about that before we went live? Yeah, we were talking that before. We were talking about that before we went live. But yeah, it's funny you said that because we just had a conversation. I don't know if we're going to talk about that on this. We'll keep that for like Discord talk, off stream talk.
Leave Diggs alone.
Diggs don't like it when you talk about Diggs. He feels a type of way, but come on, Sanchez, screw me all up here. All right, so we just talked about the Raiders signing the two top linebackers, 3-year deals. The Steelers signed running back Rico Dowdle to a 2-year, $12.25 million deal. Lions signing ex-Chief running back
Isaiah.
Sorry, hold on. Lions signing ex-Chiefs running back Isaiah Pacheco following the David Montgomery trade. They sent David Montgomery down to the Texans. And then the Texans make Kaimi Fairbairn the highest paid kicker in the NFL with a 2-year, $13 million extension. Raiders trade quarterback Geno Smith back to the Jets in for a late round pick swap, I believe. Patriots to sign former Packers wide receiver Romeo Doubs to a 4-year contract. Eagles signing former Seahawks cornerback Rick Woolen to a 1-year deal worth max value of $15 million. Ravens to sign defensive end Trey Hendrickson to a 4-year, $112 million contract. And this is after the Max Crosby trade call-off. So earlier in the week, I believe it was Monday, it was announced that the Ravens were going to trade 2 first-round picks for Max Crosby from the Raiders. Well, a day later, the Ravens backed out of the trade, and then it seemed like they had their eye on Hendrickson and this massive deal here, but they also get to keep the 2 first-round picks. So I don't know. What do you think, Diggs? Do you think this was a smart trade? Do you think they should have stuck with the Max Crosby trade, or do you think it was just better to sign Trey Hendrickson and keep your picks?
Sign and keep your picks.
All right.
There was something they're saying that we don't know.
So they're saying that too. They're saying that it was a back out after they saw the injury, the physical, right? Or he failed the physical.
Yeah.
But a lot of people are saying that's messed up because I guess he's actively coming back from an injury. So he's not 100%, and they knew that going into the trade. But I don't know. You could be right. They could see something that they could know something that we don't know about. But I think, honestly, the Ravens owner got involved and said, no, we're not doing this deal. I think the Ravens owner overruled the GM and said, no, we're not trading 2 1s for 1 guy. We're not doing it. So I think owners across the league, most of them, they have more value on the picks than the money you could spend on a top free agent.
Yeah.
If you have the cap space, spend the money. But if you trade 2 years, 3 years worth of first round picks, that's your future. That's your future right there. They're a 23% stake in the team. Did you see the Giants signed over the team to the kids now? Wait, what? Oh, no, I did not see that report. Everything I research is really just transactions in the NFL. So, yeah, I didn't really look into like outside team movement headlines. I did not know that. So the Giants signed over the team to his kid. Okay, that's crazy. That is crazy. So where are we?
Colts.
Someone click. Thank you. All right, yeah. So this was up in the air early in the week. The Colts did finally seal the deal with Daniel Jones. 2-year, $88 million deal. But this is how cocky Daniel Jones is. And for you Giants fans, you already know that ended in a disaster up there in New York. He eventually goes to he went to another team after that, but then eventually got to the Colts. He had a great year last year. He was having a really good year, and it looked like he was going to take that team to the playoffs, but then he got hurt. So now they re-signed him for another 2 years, so he's definitely their short-term solution. But here's a crazy thing. They offered him like a 3-year, $100-something million deal, and then he came back and said, "I want $50 a year." How cocky does a guy have to be? Like you got forced out of New York, and then you were having a great year, but you got hurt this year, and you still have the balls to be like, "Nah, I want $50 a year."
He knows his worth.
So they said, "All right." They finalized on a 2-year deal for $88 million to appease both of them. He doesn't quite get $50 a year, but he's not playing. He's not there locked in for 3 years. So I guess it worked out for both of them. But here's a headline that I'm even more excited about because I don't know about you, Diggs, but did you see this headline? The New England Patriots signed NFL interception leader Kevin Byard to a 1-year, $9 million contract. Literally, I think we already have one of the best safeties in the league, but adding this dude to our secondary, it makes us the most ball hawky fucking defense going into next year. I cannot wait. Watch out, clean. They're getting ideas when it's time to resign. They're going to ask for 50.
Listen, I know I'm not that good, so I'll go for 25. And
first off, everyone knows Clean Sanchez runs us like Vince McMahon. We're independent contractors. I can't even get dental.
I'm gonna pick my own internet for this.
All right, moving on. We're almost done here. Vikings running back Aaron Jones agreed to revise his contract to keep him in Minnesota for the 2026 season. Bills signing ex-Dolphins pass rusher Bradley Chubb to a 3-year, $43.5 million deal. The Niners are trading a 2026 third-round pick to the Cowboys for defensive tackle. I'm going to torture this name. Oza Odighizuwa. I think I added some syllables there, but we don't know. That was pretty good, though. Chargers add ex-Raven speedster Keaton Mitchell to the Mike Daniels offense on a 2-year deal. The Niners are bringing back Dre Greenlaw on a 1-year, $7.5 million deal after a season with the Broncos. And the Vikings sign quarterback Kyler Murray, former Cardinals quarterback, for a 1-year league minimum deal after being released by the Cardinals. I should have read the whole fucking headline.
How's he going, troublemaker?
But you get it.
I get it.
Trouble, what's good, brother? Yeah. So that is NFL headlines right there. There's actually probably more happening as we speak.
Any live updates?
No transactions, but this just in: Falcons defensive end James Pierce Jr. charged with 3 felonies and 1 misdemeanor. Well, that's going to be
for what? Did it say what?
Yeah, hold on, let me open this. It was an incident involving a WNBA player, Rakia Jackson. Pierce, 22, is charged with felony counts of aggravated battery with a deadly weapon, fleeing and eluding the police, resisting an officer with violence, as well as a misdemeanor count of stalking. He was originally faced with a second count of aggravated battery and a charge of aggravated stalking, which were dropped. Jackson, Pierce's ex-girlfriend, told police she attempted to drive away from Pierce and was driving to the Doral police station when Pierce intentionally crashed into her vehicle. Pierce is alleged to have refused an initial order from police to get on the floor after officers. Oh, this guy could have got shot, bro. After officers responded to a domestic dispute call, Pierce then drove away, hitting an officer's leg intentionally to avoid arrest. This guy ruined his whole effing career, bro. Yep. Yeah, I don't know what happened there. That's crazy. That is nuts. But anyway, that's the newest story, but nothing transaction-wise I've seen. So we're just going to move on and bring in, I think he's here, Toshio in the building, our NBA and MLB correspondent. Toshi, how was your 2 weeks?
Hey, he's a
What's
lot.
going on? You know what? Fuck you, Diggs. All right.
Ooh.
I know you've been trying to get rid of me for a while already. All right, it was only 2 weeks. You had 5 episodes previous done without me. All right. Stop it. How you guys doing?
All right, yourself, my friend. How are you?
I'm all right, man. Just another Thursday. I love seeing you beautiful men.
Appreciate
You
it.
know,
You love seeing beautiful men.
but just you two. I love big, juicy, grizzly-looking men.
Well, that's perfect because that's a perfect segue into your
There you go.
into your segment. So you're gonna what are you starting with today?
All right, so real quick, we're gonna start off with the NBA because to me, this might have been the craziest story in sports this week. I don't know if you guys saw the game, but
Oh yeah. Well, I didn't see the
Bam
game. But
Adebayo, I don't know if y'all saw what he did the other night.
I heard
This
it.
man literally dropped 83 points against the Wizards in a 150 to 129 win for Miami.
Whew.
Yeah. And when you actually look at the history of the league, that's insane. Right now, in the records, that is the second highest scoring game in NBA history. The only game higher is Will Chamberlain's
Do you have
100
that, do you have
points.
that graphic, Sanchez? There it is. There it is. Go ahead.
Yeah, so right now the highest game is Will Chamberlain's 100 points back in 1962 against the Knicks, as you can see right there on the screen. But yeah, he actually passed Kobe Bryant's 81-point game,
Which we thought we'd never
which
see.
for a lot of people was always the craziest scoring night we've ever seen in modern era.
Until now.
Until now. But the stat lines itself was ridiculous. So Bam finished with 83 points, 14 rebounds, and 4 assists. He shot 24 for 37 from the field and went 36 for 43 from the free throw line. That right there is a crazy stat.
That's nuts.
Yeah, those numbers right there alone are records. So 36 free throws made, 43 attempts are both the most ever in a single NBA game. Basketball! Yeah, basketball.
That's nuts.
But a lot of people are arguing and debating about that. And simply because the way the fourth quarter played out during that game.
Yeah, it's probably because of also the era difference between Wilt's time and modern NBA.
Well,
wasn't it pretty much like they're just running
the it's if you want to get into it, the 81 points and the 83 points, I feel like the 81 points by Kobe meant more because during that game they were down by 18 points and Kobe literally carried that team on his back to bring them back and win
the game. Yeah.
This 83 points, Miami already had the game in the bag. They were up by 30 points by the fourth quarter. There was no point for him to be in the game.
So he was just running up the score.
So you think at a certain point they wanted him to go for the record?
Yeah, for me, it was just stat farming.
Which is something I thought you could only do in NBA 2K, but damn, all right.
Yeah, no, I mean, the Wizards started fouling. The Wizards started fouling late, which basically just kept putting Bam on the line over and over again. So, you got people debating about it.
From the dungeon said, if Bam doesn't win a championship, nobody's going to remember that he has this record.
I don't think so. People still will talk about it. It just
Miami fans will always remind you.
Yeah. But either way, and you have other people that are saying 83 points is 83 points. You still got to score those points. Other people are saying that the way the game ended kind of helped inflate the numbers. So I don't know. Either way,
it's gonna matter. Always find someone to complain about.
Oh yeah, always. But that's a good thing about sports. You're always gonna find people who like and dislike it. It is what it is. That's how sports are. I mean, at the end of the day, it's still one of the wildest stats line we've seen in a long time.
Definitely.
Um, the Heat are actually playing good right now. They've been on about I think a 6-game win streak.
Yep.
Yeah, and then shit, Bam has been carrying the offense a lot lately. So I mean, it kind of makes sense. But damn, 83 points. I don't know. But yeah, it is. But yeah, so I wasn't gonna talk about this because I didn't find out about it until now. So Dwight Howard officially announced his retirement, which basically closes the book on an 18-year NBA career. It's interesting because he hasn't actually played in the league since
I was
wanna
gonna say I don't even remember him. I feel like it's been a while, right?
Yeah. He stopped his. I think he's he hasn't played in the league since the 2021-22 season.
So what's he been doing?
I think he played overseas, if I'm not mistaken. He played overseas. So according to Sanchez, he did a reality show.
He almost won it.
It's a military reality show. I didn't know that.
I didn't know that either.
Yeah. But yeah, he hasn't played since the 2021-2022 season. When you really look at his career, though, his numbers are actually crazy. His career average was 15.7 points, 11.8 rebounds, and about close to like 2 blocks per game. So those really stand out. If you look at all that in total, the man scored over 19,000 points, over 14,000 rebounds, and over 2,000 blocks. So he's statistically, he is one of the most productive big men in the last 20 years.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, and it's crazy when you look at the resume during his prime. He was an 8-time All-Star, 5-time All-NBA first team. He won Defensive Player of the Year 3 straight times from 2009 to 2011. Something we honestly don't see that often anywhere or anymore.
Especially how the league is mostly fucking guys trying to shoot threes now.
Well, during his time, I don't think that was a thing.
No.
Now this era is mostly shooting threes. Just the people just forget how dominant he really was during his Magic years, the Orlando Magic.
That's the Dwight Howard I remember.
So from like 2008 to 2012, he was arguably the best center in basketball.
Because not only was he balling, he was like cocky about it too. I'd actually call him. And you might not understand the reference, but I think he was like for me, he was like the NBA's version of Terrell Owens in the NFL.
Oh no, yeah. Well, I mean, I get it. Yeah,
Terrell Owens
he definitely was
dominant in his prime, and he was so cocky about it.
But he could back it up.
Yeah, exactly.
He could back it up. I mean, he led the Magic into the 2009 NBA Finals, and that was the year that he actually beat LeBron James and the Cavs.
Yep.
In the Eastern Conference Finals.
Remember that.
For me, that was peak Superman Dwight Howard.
Yep.
You had the dunk contest era
with the
crazy athleticism, the rebounding, the rim protection. He was basically a one-man defense.
Yep.
But moving forward to his later career, he moved around a lot. He played for the Lakers, Rockets, Hawks, Hornets, just to name a few teams. But he ended up getting that championship ring with the Lakers. So, and I think it was in 2020.
Yeah.
Which, for me, that completed.
Was that the bubble year?
Resume. The what?
Was that the bubble year?
I believe so. Yeah. That was definitely the bubble year. Yeah, that was. So, I mean, I don't know. After all that, the conversation becomes, when you look at Dwight Howard's career as a whole, where do you guys think he ranks among, modern NBA centers?
So I
You know?
can't. So I don't. I'm not. I don't have the knowledge of like the goats before him because obviously I'm gonna say Shaq's up there from
Right.
from what I remember. But growing up as a kid, I was your typical bandwagon Jordan Chicago Bulls fan. You know what I mean? And they had some decent centers lined up there with Jordan, but
Right.
I
No, I
got
mean, think about it. You had teams like, let me see, you had Akeem Olajuwon, you had Bill Russell, Will Chamberlain, Shaquille O'Neal, Moses Malone, David Robinson. Dennis Rodman was more like a forward.
he was a defensive. Yeah, Dennis Rodman was a
We're
defensive.
talking about centers.
Yeah,
Talk about centers.
Rodman wasn't a center, but he was a defensive force.
Oh yeah, he was. He was a beast. Definitely in rebounding too.
But yeah, I would say I would say he earned his right to like creep in on the top 10. No,
Yeah. I mean, to be honest, when you look at it, Dwight Howard historically, most people put him somewhere around the top 10 centers of all time.
that's what I
Maybe,
figured.
I mean, just outside, depending on how you rank guys like Jokic or Ewing. But if we're talking about the late 2000s and early 2010s, I think he was the best center in basketball for that stretch.
From the Dungeon said Parish.
You said what?
From the Dungeon in chat said Parish.
Oh,
Is he a
yeah.
center?
Probably, yeah. I don't.
They called him the Admiral. The Admiral.
Yeah, he's talking about Patrick Ewing and Mutombo. Oh yeah, those were guys. But yeah, anyway, I don't know. It's a good career. He did what he did. I think he was one of the greats. I definitely put him in the top 10, maybe 15, maybe top 15. But he's up there.
You don't want to give him that top 10 personally?
He's number 11. He's right on that line.
He's on the cusp.
He's like right there. He's right there. I mean, he did great. He's great. He's great. Like he was definitely in his early years. He was definitely a force to be reckoned with. All right. Anyway, switching to baseball, we got the World Baseball Classic, which I don't know if you guys been watching, but that's also been entertaining this week.
Oh no, yeah, we've been kept in the loop because of Sanchez. We actually talked about it briefly. Was it last episode or the week before?
Last episode.
Yeah, it was last week. So
Okay.
So yeah, we talked about it starting and the bracket and how it's going to work out, and then I believe off stream when we were in my Discord, was it you, Sanchez? I think Sanchez sent us the story of the fight that broke out between the USA and Mexico in the.
Boy, I'm gonna get into that. Yeah,
Oh,
I'm gonna
you
get into that.
Oh,
Yeah, I'm gonna
okay,
get into that.
all right. Go.
Yeah, before I get into that, but one of the biggest surprises in the tournament right now has been Team Italy. They finished 4-0 in the pool play, which me for one did not see that coming at all. And the biggest moment for them came when I'm gonna fucking destroy his last name, but Vinny Pasquantino, he hit a 3 home run game against Mexico. Now that's historic because the only reason why is because that's the first 3 home run game in the World Baseball Classic. Yeah, ever. So Italy ended up winning that game 9-1, and that helped them push them into the knockout stage. But yeah, the WBC hasn't just been about baseball. There's definitely been a little bit of drama. So like you was referring to the whole USA and Mexico thing. Not only was it on the field, but it happened during on the stands too, where fans were getting it on. But yeah, during the USA versus Mexico game, there was an awkward moment between Randy Arozarena and Kyle Riley. So what makes it funny about this whole situation was their teammates in Seattle, the Seattle Mariners. But they were playing against each other in the WBC. Arosarena for Mexico and Riley catching for the team of USA. Arosarena came up to bat. He reached out to give Riley a handshake, and Riley just basically left him hanging.
Oh,
Yeah, he just basically left them hanging. But you could see them exchange a few words, and the moment went viral immediately. You guys, we were talking about this, off the air. We were talking about this. But after the game, Arosarena he was annoyed. He actually went off about it in interviews. He cursed them out in like 4 different languages, and it was crazy. But Riley later came out and he basically just said there was no beef. It was just competitive energy during, an international game, which, honestly makes sense because when you're playing for your country, things get a little intense.
Yep.
So, yeah. Anyway, the game ended with Team USA beating Mexico 5-3. So the Americans stayed undefeated in pool play. So yeah, that's pretty much what I got for now.
So can you just break down real quick for me, like what's the difference? So are they playing games? You're saying pool play. Are they playing games outside of that?
What do you mean playing outside?
Like what? So what I'm not understanding is like what when you say pool play, what's that term reference to?
So it's like I don't know if you ever seen soccer. Have you ever seen soccer where it's like the Olympics or something like that where they have what is it, FIFA or whatever it is?
I thought they were just playing Marco Polo.
No, it's just where you have countries play each other,
Okay. So all right. So now I get what you're saying. So when you call it a pool, they're actually playing a series.
It's like a one game though. So it's like every game you win, you get points or whatever. Or you get a win.
Yeah, also, but when you say
Sanchez said it's also restricted rules and something like that.
So when you say USA defeated Mexico 5-3, that's 5 games to 3 games.
No. It's the score was 5-3.
That was the score. Okay, all right. That's what I was.
Yeah, that's 5-3.
That's where I was confused. Okay, all right.
Yeah. So yeah, they're in it.
Yeah,
that's pretty much it.
Okay. Before we move on, real quick to catch up with from the dungeon, he did ask earlier and I missed it. Who your GOAT in the NBA was?
My GOAT?
Yeah.
It will always be Michael Jordan.
All right.
My GOAT is always Michael Jordan.
Okay.
No matter how you cut it, slice it, bake it, I don't care. It will always be Michael Jordan. I grew up in that era.
Yeah. One crazy thing about the first time I met Tosh, when I stayed down there when he was living in Jersey, he gifted me a Jordan jersey. He's like, "Nah, take it. Just keep it."
You still got it?
Yes, yeah, I still got it. I can't fit in it. I'm too fat for it.
Well,
I'm going to frame it. I'm just going to frame it because I can't wear it. But yeah, I was like, "You're giving me a Jordan jersey? This is fucking crazy."
Why not? It definitely didn't fit me. So if it didn't fit me, I don't know.
Actually, hold on a second. I think the second time I saw you when we went to Collins show together, I think it might have fit you at that time.
Probably, yes.
It would have fit you.
That should have been the right time for me to wear it, honestly.
Yeah. You shouldn't have gave me the first time you saw me. You should have waited. You would have kept it.
I'm reading what Sanchez said. Yes, I think DR is the favorite. I don't know about Japan, but DR does look very dangerous.
Baseball, I have no clue. I caught a little bit of the highlights. Not much.
That's the best thing to watch is highlights.
That's how I am with most things.
Yeah, man. That's all I got for today.
That's all you got? Okay.
That's all I got for today.
All right. Sounds good, buddy. So that's perfect timing.
I don't want to take too much time.
It's time for Diggs's final cut. Diggs, what are we doing this week?
Well, this week we're doing the history of metal and horror.
All right,
About
shit.
two of my favorite things together.
So to clarify, because I have no idea what you're talking about, is this an actual documentary or movie or?
It's an actual documentary. Go into the history of horror movies, the history of metal, and how the two combine.
Okay, which makes a lot of sense because most horror movies I've watched do have metal in it.
I've never seen this.
You have like
It's a documentary. I'm sure you haven't. I haven't either.
Yeah, I've never seen it.
I'm gonna. What platforms is it on? Because now I'm gonna want to see it.
Prime and Scream.
I don't have that. I used to.
You
have
said Prime?
Yeah, Prime Video.
I'll let you use my Prime.
I have Prime.
Oh, okay.
If not, I always got you covered. It has people in it like Alice Cooper, Rob Zombie, Kirk Hammond.
Oh, sure. Okay.
Corey Taylor from Slipknot, Jonathan Davis from Korn.
Wow. This documentary has all of them in it?
Yep. It has Kane Horner, John Carpenter, Tom Savini.
Oh, shit. They went hard. Yeah,
Bill Moseley, Doug Bradley. So it's bringing in all those people. Well, Chris Jericho, if you want to count him as a star, but
a wrestling star. You know, his music hit or miss. All right, you got a couple hits that are cool, but not. I don't know. I don't be fucking with all this shit.
The history, it has won 32 awards and it's been nominated in 27 nominations total.
Damn.
The history of metal and horror explores the deep connection between heavy metal and music and horror movies, showing how both genres grew together and influenced each other over the decades. The documentary dives into how the dark themes, imaginary, and rebellious energy of metal music mirror the violence, monsters, and shock value found in horror films. Through interviews with musicians, filmmakers, and horror fans, the film shows how bands, horror creators share inspirations from album art and stage shows to movie soundtracks and storytelling. Both genres embrace outsiders, push boundaries, and thrive in creating intense emotional experience. Fun facts. In the years of making, the director Mike spent roughly 15 years developing and filming the project, starting the interviews as early as 2014. I backed this documentary since they went up.
And that's when it went up around 2014, 2015?
Yeah. I never thought the film was going to come out.
Do you have much information on the director? Was he like just an independent guy, or I don't know.
Independent director.
So
this was started as a passion project for him.
Gotcha. So that this project really put him on the map.
Yes.
Gotcha. Okay.
It was crowdfunded. Much of the film's production and licensing costs were supported by crowdfunding, reflecting by the fans for fans nature of the project. The Filthy 15 connection. The film highlights the historical parallel between the UK's Video Nasties banned horror films and the US Filthy 15. It lists the songs primarily metal targeted by the PRMC. Both were victims of the same moral panic and censorship back in the 80s. The end credits feature an interview with everyday fans of metal festivals and horror conventions, keeping the fan first theme going into the very last frame.
All right. So I guess that's going to bring up Kill or Keep this week. And since you're the only one that watched it, I guess I'll ask you if you're going to kill or keep, all right?
All right, before we go there, I just want to ask Tosh, where do you stand with horror movies and metal?
I think it depends on the movie, but I think it's a perfect relationship. I don't see anything wrong with it. But yeah, that's the way I see it.
I think there's always, for me, been a natural connection between horror movies and rock. I don't know if it necessarily has to be metal, but I guess
rock itself.
But rock itself, any genre of rock, definitely they belong together. You know what I mean? Oh, that's a good point. Sanchez just said like Rob Zombie became a horror director.
Most of you guys may hate me for this opinion, but I think his Halloween was by far the best one.
That's a very common argument, though. I'm not surprised to hear that because you're not the first person I ever heard say that.
No,
but yeah, it's definitely a touchy subject for the diehard Halloween fans that love the traditional tale of it.
Right.
Did I like it? Hell yeah, I can definitely see the appeal in it, but it's. I love the old schools. The old school.
Oh yeah, me too. Because it paved the way for
Rob
Zombie to do what he did.
Like I'll still like.
But I don't know. I think he just captured Michael Myers.
Like I'm a diehard fucking Freddy Krueger fans, and I'll watch the original Nightmare on Elm Street like 2 or 3 times a year just because that was my first like horror flick. I remember growing up terrified of that movie, and but I would torture myself anyway because
Freddy got me to fall in love with it.
Freddy just like he had that comical side of him that kind of made you like have to see him, but you were scared to see him. You know, that's kind of how I am. But
and to answer from the dungeon.
Oh, Kairu, what's up? And Kicking Wing said her favorite is House of 1,000 Corpses.
That was a good one.
Of course it is.
Have you seen it, Tosh?
Yeah, I have. It was good. It was good. I mean, Rob Zombie did a lot of good movies.
He's done some that.
Yeah.
Well,
like Dungeon said, you can never recreate Freddy Krueger. Because, like he said, for me, when it comes to Freddy Krueger itself, my GOAT will be Robert Englund.
Oh yeah, man.
You can never change that.
Diggs is super horror fan ass. Got to meet him.
Oh, nice. I'm jealous.
Look, there's a picture of Freddy back there, and he signed it for him. Robert Englund signed it.
I'm jealous.
Yep. I was super jealous when he told me about it, too. I was like, you son of a bitch.
I also got Kane Hodder, Tom Savini.
This bastard. He loves going to those conventions. I would go, too, but I just never have the money to go to shit like that.
Yeah, I have the money to go. I just don't have the money to spend while I'm there.
Yeah, that's the other thing, right? You spend so much to go there, and then when you're there, the prices to get shit, get autographs, get pictures. That shit's crazy.
I think it was like $120 for the Matthew Lillard.
Really? That dude's making good fucking money at these fucking conventions. Damn. And he just showed up. He just showed up in his first fucking Scream movie since fucking the mid-90s.
What's crazy? I think he's actually in the that Daredevil show.
Yeah, he's also in.
Oh yeah. I think he is too. Yeah,
that guy's doing big things now.
He's also in another show.
He's always been consistent though. Like since Scream 1.
For me personally, since Scream, I've only seen him in that Freddy Nightmare thing, and then I just recently found out he's in Daredevil.
No, I mean like, all right, I won't say like he was in something that was like solely his, but he did appear in some movies, TV. Like he would do episodes of different shows. Like he kept working all the time. You know, there's a few projects that he did get in. There was one movie he did with like Seth Green, isn't it? Didn't him, Seth Green, and another guy do like some bullshit comedy one year? You know what I'm talking about?
I don't know.
It sounds familiar, but
Without a Paddle, 2004.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
That was a crappy movie.
Yeah, it was a crappy movie. Hey, he got the role. Fuck it.
He has a fan base though.
No, he does. He does.
He has a huge fan base.
He also did one of my favorite characters I've ever seen in an episode of Law and Order SVU. He played like this. He played like this obsessed like nephew or some shit.
I didn't even know he was in SVU.
Oh yeah, dude, he was a fun. It was a funny character too because it kind of like brought me parts of it gave me his character from Scream vibes a little bit. So yeah, I don't know, Matthew Lillard. I've seen him for years acting here, there, but I've always liked him.
He has his own whiskey company.
Does he?
Sorry, alcohol company. They sell other stuff besides. They have two I want to get. Welcome Hollywood Reserve, and they have just came out with a Ghost Base vodka.
Wow.
It had to be vodka. Like, why everybody goes to vodka as their first like alcohol drink?
Hollywood Conserve is a whiskey though.
I'm going for that then.
He also has D&D line.
All right, which one was the first one? Was the whiskey or the vodka first?
Whiskey.
Oh, okay, he's smart.
So see, everyone goes vodka though because I think
everybody goes vodka.
Well, I think it's the easiest to make because what do you use to make vodka? Just potatoes?
I don't fucking know, but it's gross.
I think potatoes is the main thing.
I think potatoes is the main thing you use to make vodka.
Fucking
but he has like a whole line of different things.
Gotcha.
I also found this out the other day. He's a big gamer. That's what he does sell online.
Oh, he's a FIFA player? Oh, that explains a lot. Dungeon agrees whiskey is better overall than vodka. I used to drink vodka when I was young, and then Diggs found out real quick it's my evil Jesus juice. So I am banned from vodka for the rest of my life.
Tequila's a good one too.
I did have my tequila phase, and I decided, I think I'm back to whiskey.
Tequila is more mine and my sister's drink.
There was a time where I was going hard on like the Casamigos and the fucking what's the other one? The rock one. I was drinking a lot of that shit too.
Oh,
Terramana. I was drinking a lot of that shit too.
I never had Terramana.
It's really just a lower tier of Casamigos. Really, it's not bad. It's not like I'm not saying it's like bottom shelf. It's just a little less potent than Casamigos, in my opinion.
Man, it makes sense. The rock, cheap ass motherfucker.
I don't think it's just they got a whole different process.
I guess. I don't know. All right, we going on topic. Kill or keep.
You ready for kill or keep, Diggs?
I'm ready.
All right, so it's just one, two. It's just these five, and then the final call.
Yes, sir.
All right. So exploring the connection between metal and horror. Do you kill or keep?
Keep it. It's a topic I love discussing. I think it doesn't get discussed enough.
Wait.
Outside the
horror metal thing, or just horror itself?
It's no. What I said was when exploring the connection between metal and horror.
He said keep because he likes discussing
the connection.
No, he said he said the topic doesn't get talked about, and it
doesn't.
He's right.
He doesn't. No, he's absolutely right.
This whole documentary, I think what makes it so unique is the fact that you're taking a movie genre with a music genre and comparing the two because they've had a relationship for so long. So, all right. So your final answer is keep.
Yes, sir.
All right. When it comes to the interviews with musicians and the horror creators, do you kill or keep?
Keep. That was probably the best part of the movie. It's hearing
the
passion for it. The passion for, if it's musicians, the passion for the horror films.
All right.
Because how passion for the metal.
Real quick.
Kane Horner will listen to metal before he gets into an aggressive scene.
Yep.
Real quick before we finish, can you let us know what the next one is going to be? so that way we can all watch it and we can have some type of input, so we can debate this.
Yeah, we can do that again.
All
I think the thing was though, Diggs tried this before and he gave me homework and then I didn't do my homework, so that's when I gave up.
Well, I'll do it.
We'll
That way, at least you'll have someone,
Yeah.
We'll
to
do
talk with him. But I feel like we should do that. That way, we can kind of give some type of input and insight on what he's talking about.
All right, we'll do this. This goes live, gets posted tomorrow.
Or whatever. Yeah.
We'll give it over the weekend. Comment on what movie you think should be done next. If we don't get enough comments, I'll throw a poll up with 2 or 3 movies, and we'll go from there. Or we'll start a poll the day it goes up.
Yeah, we should start tomorrow night to be because then most people are gonna want to watch it. Like if you want me to watch it, I need the weekend to do it.
Yeah, so I'll think of a few movies.
All right,
throw a poll up, and then if people can give us some comments, and we can bring those into the next poll.
Bet
we'll just keep that going.
Yeah, I'm done with it. All right, moving on. So we just said that was the interview one. So from a fan perspective and culture, do you kill or keep that?
Keep it. Shows how the two fan bases overlap.
All right. This is a good one right here. I like this one. What about the documentary's pacing? Do you kill or keep?
That's more up for debate. It kind of drags at some bits, some parts. But all in all, I'll say keep.
So if you had to pick, you'd say keep?
They can do with a little bit of editing. I should have hooked them up with my producer. I think he can take care of them real good.
This dude's schmoozing for a raise.
A raise when we don't even get paid.
But no, so being honest though, do you think the documentary pacing and the parts that you say drag, do you think that's got part to do with the fact that you said it's like a up and coming director? This is a passion project, and this worked out well enough for him to be kind of get the recognition he deserves. The project obviously is popular. So do you think it's maybe also due to him being like his first big project?
Yeah, it's some of the people just kind of talk a little bit too much.
Yeah.
Too long. It's definitely him getting his feet wet and not being used to.
He's probably not trying to disrespect some of these people because he has because real directors, and especially when you're in the editing room, like you gotta have the balls to leave some of what these people are talking about on the fucking the editing room floor. Like, you gotta leave that. Like you can't let them just have all this time. So I can understand that a little bit. Probably was a little intimidated, but all right. The final one, and then we'll get into the final call. Depth of analysts, which honestly, I'm not sure exactly what you mean by that, Diggs.
Going over
the depth of analysis, I should say.
Yes.
Okay. So is that kill or keep?
Kill. It's more surface level than what hardcore fans would want.
Actually, let me add one for you. All right. Because I just thought of this. And it's hard to actually call it a kill or keep, but do you feel at any point it leans heavier into one side of the discussion versus the other side? Do you think it's more talking about metal than horror, or talking more horror than metal, or do you think they're able to kind of?
I think it's probably about a 60-40 split.
Okay, all right.
A lot talking on how it's a lot more on metal.
Yep.
And it'll keep coming back to, this is the soundtrack. This is what's getting people. Alice Cooper's performances, if you ever seen him live, it's pretty much a full-on horror show. But it's a little heavier on the metal, but
So you personally, because I know you're such a diehard horror fan, would you like to see it be a little bit more about horror, like kind of go the other way?
I loved it the way it is.
Okay,
I watched it multiple times.
Yep.
And like I showed before the show, I have the signed DVD from the director.
Oh, fuck! There's a little bit of a bias here, but okay.
I have the poster hanging up right here.
Okay, all right. I see you. All right, so final call. The whole damn documentary. Will you kill or keep?
I'll keep it. If you're a fan of horror movies, metal music, it's a fun way to watch that celebrates how the two worlds feed off each other and collide.
Nice.
And to answer from the dungeon, it was an all-right Kevin Smith movie. I think Red State was a better horror movie, but Tusk was easy to watch if you were really fucking high.
Typical Diggs answer right there. Love that. All right. Well, anyone got anything else before we go?
Speak now or forever hold your peace.
For real, for real, for real. You should have wrote that down.
Yeah, for real. Something about India and
Hold on. Technical difficulties here.
Yeah.
All right, so we want to give a thanks to who? To the U.S., India, Sweden, Russia. Yeah, that's pretty much it.
New Jersey, Pennsylvania, Mass.
No, we don't give a fuck about them.
Okay, I can see this. All right, I get where he's coming from. All right, yeah. So for our listeners, yeah, we got obviously a big United States following, but we got some people listening from India, Sweden, Russia, New Jersey, Pennsylvania, Massachusetts, Connecticut, Florida, North Carolina. Appreciate everyone listening. Shout out to the squad here. Sanchez always holding it down behind the scenes. Diggs, appreciate being here every week with you. Tosh, welcome back after a 2-week hiatus. Glad to have you.
Thank you. I know you guys miss me.
Thank you for showing up finally.
There you go.
Wow.
There you go. So I am the only JM. We appreciate everyone that was in chat. Kairu, Kick and Wing from the dungeon. And we had a new lurker come in earlier, Troublemaker. Appreciate him popping in. I'm the only JM. You can follow me at the only JM on all socials. Diggs.
You can find me at Diggs401 on all socials.
Toshi.
I'm sorry, what?
Hit them with your socials, where they can find you.
I don't have socials, bro. You can just find me on here every day, every night, Thursdays. Or you can just
we're here. We're only here once a week, but thanks.
Yeah, we're only here once a week.
All right.
You can.
Yeah.
I mean, you can go to my Instagram if you want. You want to fucking follow me on there. Just go to seat.gonzalez.84. There you go.
All right. Thank you.
You can follow me there.
That's all we were asking for.
Thank you. Smooches.
All right. Make sure tomorrow morning here on Clean Sanchez Media on YouTube, you're going to check out Morning Rips, Gio Sanchez, 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Saturday, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, right here on Clean Sanchez Media's YouTube. It'll be BRVG. Then Monday, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Make sure you're there to check out DD214. We appreciate all our Clean Sanchez Media affiliates. And until next week, everyone be safe, take care of each other, and we will see you next time.
Smooches.
Peace.
Yeah. Pulling out from the backyard to the turnbuckle flips. New England kids now they're running the clips.